also in that starting five. Sid Parrish got going yesterday. And how about Lily Meister, who tied her career high, 20 points.
Meister did a really good job and almost had a double-double yesterday as well. 8 rebounds for Meister to go along with that career high.
Look at those slick black jerseys for the Indiana Hoosiers. The first time they're wearing the black against the bright yellow gold of Baylor. It's a colorful matchup in paradise. Someone's playing for a championship tomorrow. Off we go in semifinal 1 of the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Jada Walker for Little Page Bugs. This Baylor offense is going to move and make you sweat all day defensively. Vonleh inside, who was stymied a bit yesterday. Her first shot today, no good. It will stay on this end as Indiana could not clear the rebound.
Baylor already is starting off with really quick passes. Every time a player catches the basketball, they do not hold it in triple threat for more than a second. They're making decisions quickly.
Got a foul on that play too, Lexi. They call Shea Chesky for the foul. Keep an eye on that. Shea was quiet yesterday, only a couple of points for IU. Walker inside, going right on Chesky, missed the shot, but again, the Hoosiers can't clear the rebound, and Baylor's about to get a third crack at this.
Well, Baylor is so good on the boards. They're out-rebounding teams this season 45-32, and honestly, that stat's even higher after the game yesterday.
Inside Vonleh. Vonleh turning left, shooting and scoring. You just can't give Baylor 3 cracks at it.
Vonleh has such good patience down low. She trusts her footwork, and her body awareness is so good.
Yes, Indiana fans, that's Noah Vonleh's sister. Aaronette Vonleh had 8 points, 5 rebounds yesterday for Baylor. Meister got shut off down low by Vonleh. Hoosiers gotta go here. Parrish on the move. It's an offensive foul and a strong start defensively for Baylor. Lexi, when you look at the keys to the game for the Hoosiers and the Bears, what do you see today?
For Baylor, it's about turning their defense into offense. They average 12 steals per game and force opponents into an average of 22 turnovers per game. And then they got to win that rebound battle. For Indiana, bend, don't break. That's their culture. And take care of the rock. They average too many turnovers per game and need to find more consistency there.
Got a Baylor turnover there. It's Vonleh who took too many steps down low.
Now Indiana needs to find some consistency on offense. Everyone needs to play on the same page.
Chesky dribbled into the free throw line. That is a great shot flake. Get a floater that wouldn't fall. Meister down to the floor, and they will get a foul.
Chesky with a really nice hesitation to freeze the defense up. Watch how Chesky freezes right here for a half a second, and it gets her the space to get that shot off.
Inside, Parrish was met by defense and another foul. That first foul was on Vonleh. See if they get the second one on. Moral of the story, Indiana doing a nice job going inside.
Indiana has the right idea to go inside, especially against a Baylor team who has so many rim protectors. Parrish with the right idea, drawing contact.
Foul was on Little Page Bugs. Lexi, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, how Indiana wants Sydney Parrish to really start to open up offensively. They'll want to get her unglued. Why is she so important to Indiana's offense?
Parrish can do so many different things. She can get you on the block, but her shot is also so pure. So she's a forward who can stretch the defense out as well.
Fauntleroy wants to pull that trigger. Baylor made 15 threes yesterday. Fauntleroy
Everyone
made
had
4
a
of them.
piece.
Yeah, they really did. It was an awesome effort. Drive to the basket, not there, and Parrish clears the rebound. Indiana coming up the floor with more McNeil. Oh, and her pass was behind Chesky. There's an Indiana turnover, Lexi, what you want them to avoid.
Especially if McNeil's the one handling the ball. She's a good point guard style player who has a pass first mentality, a lot of times, but she has to be crisp with those passes, especially if she wants to set her teammates up to score.
Baylor trying to take advantage of that turnover and transition for IU. Back down low to Vonleh, trying to get her established. That shot no good, and Parrish has got another rebound.
Baylor continues to feed Vonleh. They're thinking they can take advantage of a mismatch down low with her.
Chesky driving, there's a double, so Meister's got a little room. Lily got shut off.
Good Vonleh defense.
Chesky jumper not there, and Baylor's got the rebound with Little Paige Bugs.
Great Vonleh defense. She stepped up for help, stopped the drive, and got back to her player.
Andrews, no. That hit every inch of the rim, but just would not drop. More McNeil on the move. Parrish for three. In and out.
Parrish missed that, but McNeil did do a much better job at getting her a crisp pass.
Walker no good. Oh my goodness, that went off Fauntleroy's face. It's Indiana basketball with Garzone and an IU lead.
Garzone plays with her own pace. She won't play to the speed that you want her to play at. She has this almost slow-mo mentality, and it freezes the defense up before she turns those jets on.
Quick trigger three, not there. Baylor made all those threes yesterday. They haven't made one yet today.
Indiana needs to do a better job at finding the outlet sooner off the defensive rebound. They can get more transition points that way.
More McNeil finding Meister, and Indiana starting to find its footing offensively.
McNeil is really good at picking apart defenses, making them collapse into her.
Whistle, and it's going back to Indiana. Baylor, which scored 101 points yesterday, has scored 2 in the first 4 minutes today. And by the way, that's the second foul on Vonleh.
It's tough because Vonleh has been finding a lot of good positioning down low against Indiana, and Baylor's been feeding her down there. She hasn't made as many buckets as she'd want to yet, but now she definitely won't, having to sit on the bench with 2 fouls.
Chesky dribble handoff to Garzone. Chesky all alone for 3. What a start for Indiana.
Chesky with a beautiful shot. She's not a player that you want to leave wide open from 3. She'll have the confidence to shoot that every time.
Foul on the floor. That's a big shot for Chesky. Only the 2 points yesterday, Lexi. She's an impact transfer from Penn State. When she is scoring for Indiana, that offense can hit another gear for the Hoosiers.
Chesky with those 2 points yesterday, very uncharacteristic. She averages 10 points on the season so far, was an all Big Ten honorable mention last season.
Another missed shot for Baylor. Indiana got the rebound, and Madison Bartley commits the foul. They can't get her in foul trouble. She's playing because Vonleh's already in foul trouble.
Yeah, Indiana's doing a good job drawing fouls onto Baylor's forwards. If you can get the rim protectors on the bench, Indiana's going to be able to open up inside of the paint so much more often for more scoring.
It's a Hoosiers team that's already been battle-tested this year. A couple of losses for IU. Got a big win, though, at home against a ranked Stanford team last weekend and beat Columbia yesterday. Another whistle and a foul inside. Looked like Fauntleroy got tangled up with a Hoosier down there.
Yeah, head coach Tori Moran was talking to us about how this is a team that's still searching for their identity, especially after losing All-Americans like Sarah Scallion and Mackenzie Holmes. They have big shoes to fill, this Indiana team. But she said against that Stanford team, when they pulled off a win against such a strong team, that's when they started to find that identity, and they continued that streak yesterday.
I mean, if you're Baylor, this is just a nightmare start. Yesterday you couldn't miss. Today you can't buy a bucket. Already Indiana's shooting the rest of the quarter. Your best post presence in foul trouble. Not much is going right for Baylor right now.
What's weird is so often in the game of basketball, you come off a game like Baylor did yesterday, over 100 points, and sometimes you let yourself down a little bit on the next one.
good on that Little Page Bugs jumper. And Indiana doing a nice job making sure there's no second chances for Baylor right now. Chesky, great shot fake. Shea on the move. Bargesser into the game. Kicking back to Chesky. That's her second three already for Indiana.
Chesky, good off-the-ball movement. She passed it, and immediately after the pass, ran and spotted up along the arc. Got her feet ready, hands ready, and banked her second one of the night.
What a start for Indiana. Taking on a top 20 team and no fear so far in Paradise. College through the end of the month on November 30th. College hoops tips off here. Evan Stockton, Alexis Ayala, glad you're making time for us on another busy sports Sunday. Two great semifinals to start the day, and the bad boy mowers battle for Atlantis. Our first semifinal, Lexi, for anyone just tuning in, maybe they're surprised by the score. What's going right for the Hoosiers right now?
Indiana's doing a really good job at getting inside and then playing the inside-out game. When they get the paint touch and the ball movement, that's where Chesky has been able to find those three balls. And then they've forced Baylor to commit turnovers like that.
Baylor right now just does not look comfortable. Vonleh, their starting center, is already in foul trouble and on the bench. Indiana keeps going inside. This start is remarkable. Strickland drops in the first bucket.
Everyone's getting a piece for Indiana right now. The team basketball, everyone playing their role, looks great.
Strickland tipped it away. Walker jumper not there. Going to get a foul on Baylor. That would be the second on Dariana Little Page Bugs.
Ooh, that's big news for Indiana. Getting 2 fouls on Little Page Bugs, the player yesterday for Baylor, who led the way with 19 points, nearly averages a double-double on the season.
Madison Bartley for the foul, but that's not great news either, Lexi, because that's your backup center who was playing because Vonleh got in foul trouble. So now Baylor is just trying to find any combination that can slow Indiana down inside right now.
Indiana has to continue doing what they're doing. That's getting inside of the paint. That's getting positioning and drawing fouls. That last foul called on Baylor wasn't even on their end. Indiana was doing a good job boxing out, getting the positioning first, and even that's what drew the foul there.
Bargesser just got them both at the line. Hoosiers happy to have Lexus back in the lineup. Grass Lake, Michigan native, has missed some time this year with an injury, but back and in that rotation. She's brought a punch the last couple of games. All alone, Yaya Felder, who was the best player for Baylor yesterday, knocks down a three.
Felder comes in off the bench as such a spark plug. I would not be surprised if she makes her way into the starting lineup this season. A near triple-double yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Lex. Bargesser on the way to the rim. Off the bench, making it happen.
Bargesser doing a really good job off her own dribble on the drive, dipping that shoulder, and then another Baylor turnover. This time, Yarden Garzone charge.
You can kind of see down this coming, Lexi. Yarden on the drive, got a little careless, and a break for Baylor on this drive.
This is a really good job, though, by Fauntleroy to run back in transition defense and beat Garzone to the spot, taking that straight to the chest.
Yarden will sit here. Indiana trying to make sure they don't get in the foul trouble that Baylor's in right now. Again, both of Baylor's centers, Vonleh and Bartley, are already in foul trouble here. Three on the way. Felder got it again. Yaya cannot miss these last couple of days.
Felder playing with such confidence, and Bargesser making the wrong decision, going under the screen on Felder, who's been such score-first mentality lately.
Chesky just inside the line, no, but a foul. And Shea Chesky has made her presence felt in this basketball game so far.
Chesky and Indiana as a whole are imposing their will right now. Chesky just making sure she gets into the paint, drawing another foul. And that hesitation is so good. That's what always freezes the defense up and gets them off balance.
Terry Moore, a living legend on that Indiana campus, winningest coach in program history. Like I said, I'm sure there are a couple people who saw that Indiana lost a couple of early games and went, what's going wrong? Well, when Terry Morin's the head coach, more often than not, she's going to get to the bottom of it and make sure things turn around for Indiana. And so far this weekend, they've looked pretty good.
And at this point in the season, most teams are still finding their identity, especially in this age of basketball with the transfer portal. When you're having a near brand new team almost every year, that's going to be something that you'll have to adjust with moving forward from now on, is finding that identity each year with your new team.
And you talked about it too. Indiana losing Mackenzie Holmes, maybe the greatest player in program history. And the coaching staff talked about it too. Like, you lose that type of player, it's not going to flip immediately where you figure out who you go to. Last year when they needed a bucket, they went to Holmes every single time, it felt like.
Yeah, things are going to be different for Indiana this year, and they don't have necessarily that go-to scorer because on Indiana's team, everyone's pitching in and knows their role. That's the different type of style they're playing with this year.
Or McNeil three, that's good. And Indiana continues to knock down shots from everywhere on that court.
McNeil, a shooter, always stays moving.
Offensive rebound, Littlepage Bugs. A rare offensive rebound for Baylor in this first quarter. Next drive and handoff. That's a finish down low. Kyla Abraham may have to play big minutes in this one.
Yeah, Baylor needs more offensive rebounds. That's something that they normally excel at to give them second chance opportunities. And Andrews with a great find.
Up to the rim, more McNeil, nice little fake. Missed the jumper. Rebound, back tap out. Chloe came out of the pack, and her second shot is good.
McNeil does a really nice job at finding the spaces within the defense. She ducks and dives and uses that ball handling to get where she wants to go.
Looking inside, Littlepage Bugs fall away. That's good. That's a tough shot around the goal.
Littlepage Bugs has to get going. She hasn't shot enough today, especially when Baylor's this far behind. Littlepage Bugs has to be that player that starts to take it personal.
Vargasser, no. Maxey behind the play, so Baylor's got numbers here if they hurry up. They'll take a transition three, and Fatlamore gets it to go.
Transition threes always look so nice because there's so much rhythm behind them. Vondelroy got to take that 1-2 step straight into her shot. Perfect.
Baylor starting to find their offensive footing here. More McNeil, step back jumper. That didn't feel like a shot.
No, McNeil is more of that spot up shooter from three or the driver slasher.
Wonder if she was trying to go 2 for 1 there. There's a 5-second difference game and shot clock here.
Not a bad idea.
It's been Indiana's quarter, but Baylor looking for a little late juice. Cut to the rim and a finish. Littlepage Bugs. That is why she's a problem.
Littlepage Bugs, she has the energy right now. She could tell that Baylor needed her, and Littlepage Bugs stepped up. Huge screen. Chesky got blew up, opening up a lockdown low for Littlepage Bugs to flex side.
Brianna Littlepage Bugs, 19.7 boards yesterday. Very efficient from the field, 7 for 11. And man, all things considered for Baylor, they were down earlier in this quarter by as many as 15 points. It's a nice surge to close the quarter. Littlepage Bugs got the shooter's touch. Indiana's got 10 seconds to work with here. Chesky will get it up the floor. Shea Chesky working on Walker. Got a step, threw it up, and got fouled. That's on Abraham.
Chesky is so good with the ball in her hands. She takes control of the game when she has the ball in her hands. Chesky takes it all the way to the rack. That's always the right idea with the shot clock winding down.
You know, Shea only took 5 shots yesterday, Lexi. Clearly she's come into this game with an effort to be more aggressive.
And Chesky should. All good players know if you didn't really have your best night the night before, you want to come back and make up for it the next time. And Chesky came right in right away doing that.
First free throw was good. Second one drops in. Baylor's got a little time. Bears got to go quick. Walker, oh, she dribbled up the floor, threw it up and nearly made it. Walker with a pretty good look, but Indiana with a lot of good things going in those first 10 minutes of hoops. The Hoosiers have come to paradise and meant business. Beat Columbia yesterday, and they're making shots from all over the place today. Hoosiers are looking really good so far. Baylor's coaching staff trying to slow down these Hoosiers. Nick Collin, widely considered one of the better coaches in all of women's college basketball. Coming over from the WNBA, where she used to be the coach of the year in the WNBA with Atlanta. Lexi, people talk a lot on the men's side of things, the adjustment that comes from going to college, pro, vice versa. On the women's side, what's the difference between the style of play in the WNBA and the collegiate ranks?
The WNBA is a lot faster pace. Every pace or every level that you move up from high school to college is a huge change in pace. And then again for the WNBA, as well as the strength and the physicality of the league.
Baylor gets a stop defensively as Indiana was trying to feed Yarden Garzone inside. Man, Hoosiers shot the lights out in that first quarter. 8 of 14 and made 3 of their 4 three-pointers.
Two from
Did
Chesky.
get a little bit of offensive juice later on in that quarter, though. Trying to keep it going. Fauntleroy 3 not there. And a whistle means it's Indiana ball anyway.
Now to start the second quarter, Baylor needs to do a better job at rotating and being in the gaps on defense. Indiana passes the ball around so fast and works you from the inside out that it gets the defense off balance and shifted. But that's why Baylor really needs to put the emphasis on their rotations, helping the helper.
Big reason why that Baylor bench was so upset. Dariana Littlepage Buggs just picked up her second foul. Great cut to the rim and a swat out of bounds. Abraham fired up. She almost sent that thing into the third row.
Abraham, yeesh, that was like a volleyball spike. Abraham trying to make up for the backdoor cut, and she does. Good athleticism and way to stay clean.
She's got to play big minutes because already Vonleh and Bartley are in foul trouble for Baylor. Another whistle. This time it's an Indiana offensive foul. And that Baylor bench starting to bring a little juice and try to get the rest of the team back in it.
The bench energy really does make a difference, especially when I'm watching these games. You can always tell which team is going to keep fighting harder till the very end by their bench. Who's hyper on the bench?
Walker, quick trigger. 3 not there. Abraham had the rebound. It's going to stay Baylor ball. Man, Abraham has brought some effort off the bench.
Abraham is making a case for herself. She's a player that could be getting some more minutes moving forward in this season if she continues to play like she is today.
By the way, Yarden Garzone has 2 personal fouls for Indiana. Fauntleroy driving to the rim. Hit the turbo, missed the shot. Stripling clears the rebound. Indiana up the floor quick. More McNeil gave it up. Got it back from Garzone. One more pass into the corner. Not that time. And Baylor wants to get up the floor. This is Jada Walker.
The two-man game between Garzone and McNeil was just too overloaded because there were 3 Baylor players over there. They couldn't hit it to the other side in transition.
Felder for 3. Yaya again. What a remarkable weekend so far.
Felder coming off of what coach says was her best game with Baylor last game and coming in trying to make it her next best game.
Chesky's got the answer for Indiana. That's her third 3.
Baylor has to start keying in on Chesky. They've left her wide open too many times. The first one is like, okay, now we know that she can shoot this three and shoot it well. But after that, you don't have an excuse. Baylor has to get out there.
I mean, the hot shooting start for both teams. Indiana 4 of 6 from 3. Baylor 4 of 7. We were talking yesterday, Lexi, in the first games of this tournament, how it's a different setting, games played in a ballroom. Sometimes it takes players a little bit to get used to the shooting environment. They are used to this environment today. They are hitting shots from all over the place. Another three on the way. Strickland missed that one.
Indiana had to miss at some point. Baylor did a better job that time, though, of having a hand there and contesting.
Walker, tough shot. Moore McNeil had her pass tipped. Ball still loose. Parrish, a fortunate bounce and a layup for Sid.
Parrish never giving up on the play is one of the many reasons why she's so important to Indiana's offense. Not just her ability and skill set, but her mindset.
Back up to a double-digit lead for Indiana. Felder gave it up. Little Paige Bugs playing with two fouls. Travel. Garzone stood her ground down there on the block.
Good communication between Parrish and Garzone on the switch. Here's the play where Parrish just doesn't give up on the scramble, gets a piece of it, and takes it all the way to the rack. Good hustle.
10 and 9 for Parrish yesterday. Coming into the weekend, Indiana's coaching staff wanted Parrish to break out. Feels like she's doing that. Bargesser back in the lineup. Strickland one more. Moore McNeil, three shorts.
Yeah, Parrish is a player who plays best when she lets the game come to her, and she's starting to feel comfortable in doing that now.
Paige Bugs still playing with those two fouls. Stripped out of bounds on her way to the rim. Still Baylor ball.
Parrish got beat off the dribble by Little Paige Bugs. Such a quick first step, but Parrish smart by doing that little poke after she got beat, at least stopping the play.
Strickland just came out of the game for Indiana. Walker closed off by Bargesser on that baseline out of bounds play. Ooh, Lexi almost had a steal. Little Paige Bugs defended by Parrish. Indiana's done such a good job down there today.
Wow, yeah, Parrish did a really good job holding her ground, staying in front here. Tough on the ball pressure. Little Paige Bugs, normally a player that can muscle it in. That time, Parrish was the wall.
Held ball again. It's still Baylor's on the arrow. That's not something Baylor fans want to see. Yaya Felder slow to get up. They may be working on a wet spot on that side of the floor.
Hoping for Yaya Felder that it's just cramp or a Charlie horse. But she's still holding that hip area.
Remember, there was a game already played on this floor today. Georgia took down St. John's, bouncing back from a loss to Marquette yesterday. Baylor's got to go. They didn't realize the shot clock ran out. What defense again by Indiana.
Baylor has to have more attention to detail. Little things like the shot clock is something you should always be aware of.
For most of this game so far today, Baylor has just looked confused. Indiana's done a great job of making this high-powered team look uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. Baylor is a team that clicks on all cylinders. Scored over 100 points yesterday.
Travel on Billy Meister. That's someone who was really good yesterday for Indiana. Scored 20 against Columbia. Today, just the 2 points.
9 turnovers already for Baylor as well.
Another whistle. And it's going to be a foul on Indiana.
Indiana trying to fight through that screen. Some of those type of fouls are fouls that coaches can be okay with because you really want to fight and get through those screens. Make sure you're paying attention to your scout and getting over on that.
Walker jumper, not there. Abraham rebound, no, but a foul. Again, there's Abraham's effort on the glass.
Abraham, multiple times tonight, has kept the play alive by giving second chance opportunities, being in the right place at the right time. Rebounding is often about finding positioning mixed with that effort, not always just the height.
Just 4 points in limited time for Kyla Abraham yesterday. Again, story of this first half for Baylor. Vonleh and Bartlett, two of their best bigs, are in foul trouble. They both picked both those free throws. She's 60% from the line this year. More McNeil with a good look inside. Meister got blocked and fouled.
That might be Little Paige Bug's third foul if it's on her. Meister, a player so good yesterday down low from the block, coming off a career day. Way to draw the contact and be fearless of it.
You're on it, Lex. That's the third on Little Paige Bugs. It's that game you play as a coach sometimes, right? You dance with fire, hoping they don't pick up their third. Now you wonder if Little Paige Bugs can even start the second half with those 3 fouls.
It's tough. Little Paige Bugs right now leading the way for Baylor with 7 rebounds, which is something that Baylor has to always key in on every game. Those second chance opportunities for them are huge. So with Little Paige Bugs on the bench, that hurts. But that balance, a lot of coaches will even play that balance with fouls with 2. If you get 2 fouls in the first half, you have to go to the bench. Most oftentimes, though, the magic number is 3 that sends you to the bench.
Walker attacks the rim and finishes right-handed. She's a lefty, so finished on the offhand.
Walker has to get going some more here, too. She's got such a quick step. She can be part of the reason that starts to pick Indiana's defense apart inside.
That time they get Walker for a foul. Too aggressive on Marty Ferguson. Up on the 5-minute mark of this second quarter. Indiana got off to a 17-2 lead in the first quarter. Baylor slimmed it down to single digits a couple of times in that first quarter. Moore McNeil traveled, lost that pivot fumble.
Yeah, McNeil looked really off balance when she tried to land in triple threat and get that pivot. Really tough on the ball defense and pressure, though, by Jennings, stopping McNeil from going where she wanted to go.
Walker got it again. Driving, kicking, found Yaya Felder. A rare miss. Abraham tipped the rebound back. Walker into the corner. Jennings 3, no. And Abraham goes over the back. That's going to be her second foul.
Baylor is making such a better effort in crashing the O boards, but that time gets Parrish, and she's still down. Indiana not going to like that.
We'll get you an update on Sid if we can after the break. Indiana taking a 10-point lead into this final segment of the first half. The effort has been intense all inside in this game today. All right, so we were talking about this right before the break. Sid Parrish colliding with Abraham. You can see that left leg get tangled under Abraham's body. And this is what happened during the commercial break. Sid being helped off the floor. Alexi, this is terrible news. You feel for Sid, who's such a good player, started her college career at Oregon, came back home to Indiana. She grew up in the suburbs of Indy, former Miss Basketball in Indiana. She was a player who the coaching staff told us entering the weekend, if we get her unglued offensively, we're a totally different team. And now it looks like Indiana's going to have to find a way to replace Sid for the remainder of the game, it looks like.
Really tough thing for Indiana to do. Parrish came in with such great energy today. She had 5 points, 3 boards already on the game, and even that doesn't show her impact that she was making out there on the court today. That's tough.
Indiana still got this 10-point lead, but now with Parrish injured and out for the moment, and missing that presence that she's brought, another whistle away from the ball. There have been a lot of fouls in this game, and we got another Hoosier down. Oh boy.
Oh no. Ow.
That's Shea Chesky, who's slow to get up, Lexi. She's IU's leading scorer with 12. And this is awful news. It happened on the right side of your screen.
Chesky was tripped by Walker. Not intentionally. Walker was just trying to get over that screen to stay on Chesky, who's been nailing threes all night, and tripped her on the way.
There's an offensive foul in the play, and Juliana Lamondola. Chesky now, you can see at least walking under her own power, but limping to that end of the bench. So the two stories now in this first half, Baylor has 3 different bigs in foul trouble, and Indiana has 2 of their starters, Parrish and Chesky, who have left the game with apparent injuries.
Goodness, this is going to be a battle of just effort between this game. They're going to have to be throwing blows to each other.
Vonleh just missed the shot. She's back in with 2 fouls. Indiana on the break. More McNeil to Bargesser, dribbling in for a 2. Missed the jumper.
Baylor running in transition quickly.
Walker up the floor, fouled by Lexi Bargesser. That's her second.
Walker's so good at getting transition points going for Baylor. She runs up the floor with such intensity. Even as everyone's sprinting with her, she's passing everybody, getting all the way to the rack. Indiana has to turn around and stop ball sooner.
Lexi, you were talking about Walker yesterday in that Baylor win over Southern Miss. Her ability to stop and start and change speeds is almost impossible to defend sometimes.
Yeah, truly, you have to guard Walker as a team because she's going to beat that first line of defense maybe 8 times out of 10. That help line has to be on the line and ready to step up to guard Walker.
1 of 2 at the line for Jada. Came into the weekend 65% on the season at the line. Bargesser remaining in with those 2 fouls. This is an ongoing story for both teams with the foul trouble. Strickland handoff, more McNeil. That ball rolls out of bounds. Baylor bench, loving how the tides are turning late in this first half.
Yes, Walker was putting the clamps on Bargesser, and the rest of Baylor defense did a really nice job playing in deny.
Big final 3.5 of this first half. Indiana's led pretty much from jump. Felder puts her shoulder down. Yeah, Felder again.
Felder opening herself up on the drive after making a couple threes. That'll get you inside with just a quick first step.
Right side, Chesky is back in. That is a good pass. Shot no good. Strickland lost it out of bounds. And we also have another foul on Baylor.
Baylor really starting to rack up some foul trouble here.
Looks like they're going to get Felder potentially there. Beg your pardon, they call it on Sarah Andrews, so that's her second. Bartley, Andrews, Vonleh, and Little Paige Buggs all have at least 2 fouls. Little Paige Buggs has 3. Dariana, we're not quite sure we're going to see her again.
Yeah, that's 5 players for Baylor right now with 2 or more fouls.
I mean, how does this affect the game now, Lexi, with so many Baylor players in foul trouble?
Baylor is a team that honestly doesn't use their bench too awful much. So to get a lot of your starters on the bench and have to put in those bench players in the game, that changes Baylor's dynamic a bit. But it's going to have to be next woman up mentality.
Back up to a 9-point lead. Felder gets a screen from Vonleh, slice into the cup, missed it that time. Indiana wants to get this ball inside, but Strickland wasn't set up yet. Got to get the ball to Chesky now. Tough catch. Shea on the move, got to the rim, and got the roll. Shea Chesky with 14 already.
Chesky's ball handling stays on such a string. She's able to cut through and splice through the defense. Goodness, she can score on all three levels.
The whistle and a foul. Vonleh out there with 2 fouls for Baylor. Almost feels like they've got no choice right now, Lexi. Baylor's just got to roll with people they need to play, even with foul trouble on seemingly half the team.
And Vonleh's in a position right now where she can learn how to play clean. How to play in a game with fouls is an art that you can only master through reps. So Vonleh will be able to get that practice today.
It's interesting you bring up that being an art. In your opinion, are coaches sometimes too scared to leave people out there with a couple of fouls?
Yeah, it all depends on how much the coach trusts you as well to stay and play clean. I mean, you really do have to change how you play defense quite a bit, especially if you're a physical player when you have foul trouble.
Vonleh the rebound, still in there with those couple of fouls. Vonleh just snatched down her 3rd board.
And Vonleh's doing a good job still playing tough defense with those 2 fouls.
Yaya Felder again. This is a remarkable scoring exhibition the last couple of games.
Indiana does not know how to guard Felder after she scored from 3, from inside. They don't know if they need to give her a step or get all the way in her face.
Vonleh, great catch. Up, no. Back tap on the rebound. More McNeil's going to get to it.
Vonleh needs more focus at the rim.
Offensive foul on Indiana. Bodies getting tangled up down low again. Man, this has been a physical game.
Not only Baylor now, but also Indiana being frustrated by how the refs are calling the game. You have to be able to adjust, though, to how the refs are calling it. If they're calling those fouls and whistling that whistle quickly, you need to know, okay, I can get inside and get myself to the free throw line. I can take advantage of it on offense.
Indiana in this game got off to a 17-2 lead. And now Coach Moran stalking that sidelines because she's kind of sensing what we're seeing. This game's starting to flip in favor of Baylor. Walker drive, floater not there. This time the rebound for IU. Chesky wants to push. More McNeil lines it up. 3 balls short. Walker the long rebound. Back to Yaya Felder. Already 14 in this game after a near triple-double yesterday. Long 3 on the way. Oh, she got it! Sarah Andrews from a different island.
Andrews was so good from 3 yesterday. Sometimes with 3-point shooters, it's a streakiness thing. If you see that ball go in, you're going to continue to nail those. Andrews on that right now.
5-second difference, game and shot clock here. Indiana just threw it away. This is a tremendous close to the half for the Baylor Bears.
McNeil has been way too lackadaisical with her passes today. Normally a player who's so crisp, hits you right in your shot pocket, averaging 3 assists per game. And today, she's committed too many turnovers that are unforced.
A 7-0 run for Baylor in the last 2 minutes. But a pretty comfortable first half for Indiana, but all of a sudden, Baylor is presenting a lot of problems. They'll play for the final shot of the first half. Walker throws it out. Fauntleroy, 3 not there. And Indiana's going to have just a little bit of time.
Fauntleroy left wide open, seemed like she just got excited.
That's the end of the first half. Indiana got off to an incredible start, but Baylor has hung in the fight, and now they're in the thick of that fight after 20 minutes of hoops. Physical, intense. Bugs plays in the second half. Dariana stuck on 3 fouls in the first half. And as well for Indiana, Hoosiers had Shea Chesky with a big-time performance in that first half. But we'll see how the second half goes. Unfortunately, Sid Parrish left in that first half with an injury. Don't have an update on her right now. We start the second half. Indiana in those black jerseys that they're wearing for the first time ever. Brought them pretty darn good luck in that first half. Moore McNeil swings to the corner. Dribble handoff, shot clock running down here. Chloe Moore McNeil, gotta let it go. Shot clock running down. Missed it short, Vonleh the rebound. Baylor brings it into the front court. Walker gets it inside to Vonleh, powers her way in. This is a two-point game. Vonleh had to deal with some foul trouble in that first half. Multiple post players for Baylor had multiple fouls. Little Paige Bugs is on the floor, by the way, with those 3 personals. Chesky to the rim. Shea Chesky, 2 more. She has 16. Indiana and Baylor go bucket for bucket in this first minute of the third quarter. That is a foul on Chloe Moore McNeil, her second. Vonleh gives it up. Walker rolling off a screen. Back inside to Aradette Vonleh. Good look to the corner. Andrews will let it go. He missed the 3. Meister's got the rebound for Indiana.
Really good by Vonleh to find that on the outside. A lot of times when she's got it on the inside, it stays sucked in, but she found an open one that time.
Chesky just missed. They got down deep and missed it. Walker all the way down, up and good. There's some power from Jada Walker all the way to the rim.
Walker is the energy of Baylor right now. She's pushing the tempo and setting the pace. Baylor needs those transition points. That's what gets them hype and excited.
And that's a huge foul for Indiana. Yarden Garzone, one of their best, now 3 fouls.
Foul trouble has been a key in this game all game long on not just Baylor's end, but now also Indiana's.
It was 17-2 Indiana in the first quarter. Baylor has nearly come all the way back. Moore McNeil fouled. That's on Andrews, and that's her 3rd.
Baylor has done such a good job at fighting back through just being gritty and tough, having a chip on their shoulder and saying, we're going inside. We're done settling on the 3. We are finding paints in the points. Points in the paint.
It's all right, Lexi. It happens to us every once in a while. I totally understand where you were going. It was all good.
Paints in the points.
One more coming for Chloe. Moore McNeil, 10 points and 5 steals yesterday. Indiana coaching staff says she may be the most important player that they've got. Doesn't always show up in terms of the stats, but her effort is evident on that floor. Meister met Walker on the drive to the rim. It will stay with Baylor.
Meister, such a good rim protector. She's a presence down low that Indiana has desperately needed in this game. Baylor has found a lot of success inside.
Another whistle. That was Andrews. Beg your pardon, Walker falling to the floor again. That's the second foul on Chesky. So now Indiana's dealing with some foul trouble here. Multiple players of their own with multiple fouls. Chesky down to the floor, almost saved it.
Chesky's been so good, not just on offense, but defense too.
Andrews inside. Vonleh threw a couple. Foul. Locked up with Meister. If they call that on Lily, that would be her second. So now Chesky, Garzone, Moore McNeil, Striplin, and Meister, each with multiple personal fouls. They actually called that on Lamandola, but that's also her 3rd.
Vonleh has done such a good job at sealing the defense on her backside. Every time you're able to feed Vonleh, as long as you can find a good angle for that entry pass, she's got the defense sealed.
Hey, remember how we said Aridette Vonleh's brother is Noah, former Hoosier? He's here. That's the guy who is wearing his sister's jersey. Blood is thicker than water. He may be a former Hoosier, but today he's a Baylor Bear. I love that.
That's awesome.
Shout out to our crew as well for finding Noah in paradise. Decent little trip to watch your sister play. Chesky on the drive, floater, good. Man, what a day for Shea.
Gosh, Chesky's hard to guard.
On the other end, Walker, no. Back tap, swing, swing. Andrews, three. Rebound on the floor. Little Paige Bugs. Chesky frustrated. That would be the third on Shea if it's on her.
That's tough. Baylor's doing a really good job crashing the O boards. And those, to me, are just ticky-tacky fouls. You should be able to get physical down low, especially crashing boards.
It is on Chesky, by the way. That's her third. And also 5 team fouls in Indiana. Baylor's shooting the rest of the way already in this third quarter.
Baylor, they'll have to be good at their free throws, especially in a close game like this. Already getting to the free throw line. Baylor's done an okay job throughout the season, 69% from the charity stripe so far.
Even with those two makes, they are 6 of 14 at the line today. Their zone stopped the dribble. Vonleh had the defense. Or McNeil fouled. Oh, that's not good news for Baylor. Little Paige Bugs can't believe it. That's her fourth.
That is horrible news for Baylor and Little Paige Bugs. She was a prolific scorer yesterday and throughout the entire season. That hand check right there, that's what got her. She did a good job at moving her feet, but she has to keep the hands off.
I wonder when we see Little Paige Bugs again. Certainly not again in this third quarter. What a foul call.
I remember I had to be in middle school when the hand check foul came in, and that about ruined my life. So I feel Little Paige Bugs' pain right now.
Got a break there. Missed shot for Indiana. Vonleh setting another screen. Rolling to the rim. Not fouled. Her brother will like that drive to the rim. Sister's off to the line.
Vonleh's done a good job having chemistry with whoever has the ball, whether it's a guard or a post. This time it was Walker. Her spin off of that screen and then dunking down, dipping for the roll. Perfect timing for Walker to hit her on the entry pass.
You talk about an athletic basketball family. Noah, remember, former top 10 pick in the NFL draft, decade as a pro, states overseas, and now watching his sister play. I imagine, Lexi, those games growing up were pretty darn good between Noah and Aridette.
So cool. I love siblings playing sports together. I really feel like that's part of what makes you so competitive. Because no matter what, you're competitive with your siblings. Whether it's tying your shoes faster or playing sports, you want to beat them at everything. So to get that killer instinct with your siblings in the game you love, that's where it happens.
Their zone, threw it up and in, and got the foul call. She was slipping as she shot it, and it still went in.
Wow, Garezone's focus is incredible. Watch how Garezone, no balance, even a bobble fading away, but still gets those eyes locked on the rim and that wrist pointed in the right direction.
Yesterday, Yarden Garzone on her 21st birthday, one of her best games as a Hoosier. 18 points, 10 rebounds. Today held to just the 5, but others have picked up the slack. And Indiana's lead back up to 4. Vonleh inside, spinning, and scoring off glass. She's starting to take over.
Vonleh can get absolutely anything she wants right now against Strickland. Strickland has no other choice but to just try to stand up tall and play clean.
Air zone. A whistle and a foul on Baylor for the shot.
What Strickland needs on the opposite end on defense, though, in order to guard Vonleh, is help from her teammates. Someone needs to come in and double Vonleh, especially if she's taking too long with the basketball. A guard can slip in there and poke it out.
That was the third foul, too, on Bella Fauntleroy. Strickland up to set a screen. More McNeil gives it up to Garzone. Three short, saved by the Hoosiers. But we also have a foul in Indiana. Baylor ball.
You don't typically see threes like that out of Garzone, but even some of the best shooters still airball. You just have to be able to have that amnesia effect, next play mentality, forget about it, and have that confidence to shoot the next one.
Coming up on halfway into the third quarter. Indiana and Baylor locked in a tight one in our first battle for Atlantis semi. North Carolina, Villanova to follow. Andrews left alone. Rebound battled for and corralled by Strickland. They called a held ball down there, and it's still Indiana's with the arrow.
That was a really quick held ball. Strickland did a nice job at stripping it out of her hands.
So Baylor's going to get another crack at this thing.
Walker's on the ground.
Yeah, Walker's slow to get up. Unfortunately, we've had some injury issues in this game. Sid Parrish left early for Indiana. Chesky's back in the game, but she limped off at one point. And now Jada Walker still on the floor. We'll get an update for you if we can. Timeout in Paradise. 2-point game between Indiana and Baylor. Sports are just better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store to download the all-new Full Sports TV apps on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, and Chromecast. Set your favorites, search our library of live and on-demand content, so much more. Download today. A lot going on in this game. So Indiana and Baylor locked in a 2-point game, but unfortunately we've had a couple of injuries so far in this game. Indiana had Sydney Parrish leave early with an injury, and we saw Jada Walker go down to the floor and have a tough time getting up right before the break. Walker is now out of the game. Baylor's brought Yaya Felder back into the game. Two-woman game with Vonleh. Felder floats it up, no. Vonleh follow, no. Third shot, yes. This game is tied.
Baylor and Vonleh have done such a better job as this game's gone on at the O boards. They still only have a 4-point plus margin on the total rebound battle. Normally they're way higher, but they've gotten better through the game.
That pass off of Felder's foot stays within the end. Remember, Indiana led this game 17-2 in the first quarter. Baylor has come all the way back to tie it. Air zone, long three. Followed her miss. Chesky all alone. Shea Chesky free. What a day for Shea.
Wow. Chesky is just continuously wide open. Baylor really needs to do a better job at keeping someone on her. Hand already in the face.
21 in the game for Shea Chesky. Vonleh up to set the screen. Andrews jumper not there. Indiana basketball.
Andrews really off balance when she shot that, and you could tell she knew that was missing the second it left her hands. Tried to run forward a little bit to follow her shot, but realized it was going straight out of bounds.
21 for Chesky, the transfer from Penn State. Shea on the move again. Swings it out to Moore McNeil. Back inside, Striplin, up and good.
Wow, good job by Striplin at recognizing she had a mismatch. Vonleh was on Chesky for a moment and took too long switching back to get on Striplin. Striplin with an easy money bunny because of it.
Out of bounds. Turnover on Baylor. Coming unglued right now.
Baylor has to do a better job with their guards at going to help out their forwards when they have the ball at the top of the key. Vonleh was stuck on an island, and Baylor needs to send some guards over to help and set something up.
Here's zone for Indiana. Travel. Lost that pivot from the drive.
Garzone looked like she was a little nervous to go straight at Vonleh. Vonleh, a big presence down low, but Garzone, she's so strong and has that finesse at the same time that she can't have fear on the block against Vonleh.
Good to see Jada Walker back in the game. Chesky and Walker have both come up slow at times off the floor, but both come back into the game. Walker driving, kicking. One more pass, Fauntleroy. That three, not there. Baylor, the last couple of trips up the floor, has been ice cold.
Baylor's shot has suddenly disappeared. A lot of air balls, not even close to the rim. And when that's going on, Baylor needs to, as a team, start cutting and backdoor cutting off the ball. Get that off the ball movement and find something closer to the rim.
Zone on Vonleh. More McNeil to Bargeson. Inside, Striplin. Another bucket for Caroline.
Bargeson with a perfect feed down low to Striplin. Straight over the heads of the defense.
I got more McNeil in the air. Shot fake and a finish. How about it for Bella?
Fauntleroy, my goodness, it shows how important the fundamentals of basketball is. A simple shot fake can do so much for you. Opens the entire lane.
Inside with Striplin. Former Tennessee Volunteer feeling it, but Fauntleroy had the defense that time.
Striplin spun the wrong way that time. She had it open on the right side and went left.
Travel on Walker. There's one of those turnovers, Lex, that you've been talking about. Baylor's now got 10, IU with 12.
Coaches can oftentimes live with their team being stripped a couple times or the defense reading your passes so well that they intercept them. But the turnovers they get really mad about are the unforced ones.
Oh, roll off. Out of nowhere, Striplin missed it. Somehow, neither of those shots fell in for the Hoosiers.
Sometimes, and I can speak from experience, when you are so wide open, you get a little excited and just blow it.
Did Baylor take advantage of that break? Walker. Oh, foul call. Wow. Garzone got physical with Walker on that drive, and the whistle stays in the pocket.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was no foul call on that, and it would have been a really big foul that would have gave Garzone her 4th had they called it.
1:18 remaining in this third quarter. Little Paige Buggs remains on the bench with Baylor. She's got 4 fouls. You wonder at which point they bring her back into the fourth quarter. Yeah, she's being a great teammate today, Lexi. We have seen her on that bench making noise all game.
Yeah, a lot of players will get frustrated if they're sitting on the bench because of their own foul trouble. But little Paige Buggs, cheering on her team, being a leader from the bench.
Striplin. Vonleh's on her. Swing, Bargesser. Lexi on the drive. Fauntleroy met her down there. Only 8 to shoot for Indiana.
Fauntleroy, way to step up as help and play some good defense. Jennings got beat there, and Fauntleroy stepped up big time.
Inbound Garzone. Fauntleroy stopped her. It's still Indiana ball, but Fauntleroy was great down there off the inbound.
Fauntleroy is everywhere right now. She is playing such hustle defense, not giving up anything easy. Big block on Garzone.
Long shot, no good, and Vonleh another rebound for Baylor. That was her 8th. Felder in between the rings. Back outside to Walker. Vonleh up to set the screen. Walker stopped and fouled. 10 seconds on the shot clock here, but Baylor's been in the bonus since the 7-minute mark of this third quarter. So Jada Walker is right back to the free throw line. That was the 3rd foul on Caroline Striplin.
Striplin did a nice job on that one on switching on defense. I didn't think she fouled there. Striplin got out on the switch and played really nice on the ball pressure on Walker, but got called for the foul.
Lexi, we're seeing little Paige Buggs on that bench. At which point do you think Baylor has to bring her back in? They want to try to win this thing.
At some point in the fourth quarter, maybe you let a couple minutes go by to save her for the end. But especially with Baylor still being down in this game, you don't have much cushion.
Shot clock turned off. Walker went just 1 of 2 at the line. Baylor at the free throw line today is 9 of 18.
Not good.
Does the Indiana lead grow at the end of the quarter? Shea Chesky just drew a foul on Wise Jennings.
Jennings smart, though, to get out on Chesky. Too often tonight has Chesky been wide open from 3, and she's been more than willing to shoot that. Jennings making sure to chase her off the 3-point line.
Indiana going to get the chance to go to the line here. What a day for Shea Chesky. You know, her Indiana high was 19 last weekend against Stanford. I guess it's something about Sunday afternoons. Chesky at the free throw line and now with 22 points. Feels like, Lex, this is her breakout game as a Hoosier.
Yeah, Chesky has fit right into this offense, this team basketball, quick passing offense. Shooters thrive off of that.
Still time for Baylor. Late in the quarter clock. Is that pass tipped? Apparently not. Walker saying it was. Officials saying, nope, it wasn't. It's Indiana ball.
Either way, to Walker, though, that pass was going to none of her teammates. She has to be better.
Bargesser will inbound for Indiana. Garzone with time on the clock. Yarden Garzone from half court. No. But Indiana's got a 6-point lead as we go to the fourth. In college sports these days, it's often new faces and new places. Chesky, a new face in a new place. Coming from Penn State, she's making a lot of fans in Bloomington with this effort today. Against Indiana for both teams. What are they thinking about here as we go into the fourth?
Indiana wants to keep playing fast passing team basketball. So many players have scored today for Indiana. 7 players in total, led by Chesky with 23. If they can continue to feed the hot hands of Chesky and she can stay moving like a shooter does off the ball and find those open spaces, she'll continue to find success. Baylor, meanwhile, needs to play better defense, especially on Chesky, and take better care of the basketball. No more unforced turnovers.
Right inside to Lily Meister. She got it, but leave it off. That is a travel. Lily's had trouble down there today.
Yeah, Meister's had a tough day against Vonleh. Vonleh plays such good defense. She knows when to step off and when to crowd you.
Andrews stopped by Chesky. Yaya Felder looking for room. She got it. 3 off that time. Felder's been so good these first couple of games this weekend.
Dangerous by Bargesser to take a step off Felder. She's gotten got by that already in this game by Felder. Dodged a bullet that time.
More McNeil. One more pass to Meister. That was brilliant basketball from IU.
McNeil's feed right there is what we're used to seeing, and that's why some of her turnovers today have felt so uncharacteristic. She's so good at putting her teammates in successful positions, and she gets the turnover here on Baylor.
Almost turned it over herself. That pass was behind Bargesser. Chesky on the move. Chesky looking around. Stopped the dribble, had to give it up. Bargesser passes out. Garzone. Not that time.
Indiana had the right idea, trying to work it from the inside out, though.
Does Baylor have a counter? They'll dribble back into a corner 3. It's not there. Meister rebound.
Not the best shot for Andrews off her own dribble. She's better if she can spot up.
All the way to the rim and the finish. Chesky, wow, 25 points.
Chesky has done such a good job with her threes that it forces the defense to crowd her, to sprint straight out at her. Those are the easiest defenders to beat off the drive. One quick first step and she's got you beat. Chesky all over the place. Just such a speedy athlete and protects the ball so well with that offhand.
About the way this basketball game has been played. Fierce, intense action from the moment we started. A lot of players in foul trouble, including Little Paige Bugs, but she's back on the floor with 4 fouls. Baylor needs her down 10. Just under 8 minutes to go here. That's a travel on Baylor. Andrews just gave it up. Another turnover.
Andrews has to be able, when she's coming around that curl, to either put the ball down the second she catches it for a dribble or stop first, get it in triple threat before turning the Jets back on to avoid that travel.
Meister rolling to the rim. Off a great pass from Garzone.
Meister, good off the ball movement. She struggled getting positioning down on the block, but when she's doing that duck and dive from the elbow, that's where she can get open and use some of her speed.
Felder threw it up and got fouled.
Felder doing such a good job at attacking and having that score first mentality. Felder's a player. Throughout her years at Ohio, of course she was a prolific scorer, but really the main part of her game was pass first mentality. She was an assisting queen. Yesterday, 8 assists. Today, she's coming in with that score first mentality.
Fouled out for Indiana. Felder back off to the line. She's maybe been the story of the weekend so far for the Baylor Bears. Almost a triple-double yesterday. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. And today, now with 15 points.
I'm giving Felder 6th woman of the tournament.
You're going on record, Lexi? You're going to give it to her right now?
Awarded by Alexis Ayala.
There you go. There you go. Knocked them both down at the line. We get a 10-point game again. Chesky into the front court. Shea's got 25 in this game for Indiana. Working on Abraham. Inside lob. Meister was shut off by Felder. That's an Indiana turnover. Their 14th.
Tough angle, Chesky trying to find Meister down low. Meister can help that out by diving to that opposite block and staying on a better string with Chesky.
Offensive foul on Baylor. They say that Andrews is too physical. That's Sarah's 4th foul.
Chesky did a nice job at hitting the hardwood and making sure that call got sold.
7 minutes to go. Still got to figure out who's going to be one of the teams playing for a championship tomorrow in Paradise. These guys, whoever wins, will get the winner of Carolina-Villanova in the game after this one. Bargesser, great bounce pass.
Oh.
Blocked by Abraham. She rejected Meister.
Abraham's help was perfect. Meister looked like she was going to be left all alone on another dive. Abraham's coming out of nowhere, athletic.
Walker wants a screen. Spinning away from Moore McNeil. Follow Abraham. Shot clock did not reset. And a whistle stops play anyway.
Gosh, Abraham's hustle today has been incredible. Meister looks all alone until Abraham turns around, leaves that double, and gets the big block.
Indiana still got a 10-point lead, though.
They can start to bring it back with some score-stop-score sequences.
Chesky cut to the bucket. Meister didn't see her. The shot clock running down again. Moore McNeil, 4-gear zone. Long rebound, Bargesser in a reload. Moore McNeil probing. Giving it up to Lexis Bargesser, well short. Meister rebound. Lily Meister, no, nothing would drop.
Gosh, Indiana got second, third chance opportunities and couldn't execute. The focus has to be better down on the block.
Andrews step back 3. Rebound Meister. She gets big rebounds down the stretch.
Andrews has been forcing too much in this game off her own dribble. Baylor's so much better when they're using that off-the-ball movement to find things.
Offensive foul, Lexi Bargesser. Indiana turnover, 15.
Bargesser pleading her case, but a very easy foul call. She extended that off arm and definitely made contact on Walker.
Abraham out. Some big time minutes for Kyla today. Gut check time for Baylor. Down by 10, 5 minutes to go. Yaya Felder 3. Another miss for Baylor. Yesterday they made 15 threes. Today they've missed 14 of them.
Felder's been good from 3 today, but that 3 was just out of rhythm like a lot of Baylor's. It's coming either one pass from around the arc or off their own dribble instead of getting a paint touch first, forcing the defense to collapse and open up the 3 before shooting.
Timeout on the floor. It'll be Baylor basketball after the break. Good finish coming from Paradise. Indiana trying to pull off the upset and play for a championship tomorrow. 4:44 to go. The Indiana Hoosiers wearing black jerseys for the first time ever. 10-point lead. They're on the verge, Lexi, of a big-time upset win. How do the Hoosiers get this thing to the finish line?
Indiana has to keep working it in the inside. Get those paint touches before getting that three-point shot up. They found a lot of success down low.
Felder drive not there, and Indiana comes up for the rebound. Indiana in this game has grabbed 37 boards. Pretty good effort against a Baylor team that loves to crash the glass.
Really good effort. Baylor is typically a plus 13 margin on the boards against their opponents.
Their zone, no. They play on. They say it was incidental contact. Now we got a held ball, and it's Baylor's with the arrow.
Baylor has to take advantage of this offensive possession. They've been so stagnant the last few plays down, just chucking up a three, hoping to close in on that deficit with a miracle, but they've got to work it better.
Little Page bugs, free throw line jumper, in and out.
Good to see Little Page Bugs back in and ready to go. She'll have to remember to stay clean on defense, which is going to be hard. She's a really aggressive defender. She has 4 fouls right now.
Chesky with 25 points. Chesky got a step. Shea Chesky, count that thing in a foul.
Chesky, not only was that fifth spin absolutely killer. Watch how Chesky fakes like she's going to spin, gets Page to completely bite, and not only that, that's Little Bugs Page, 5th foul.
That could be the moment of the game. Little Page Bugs out. Shea Chesky with one heck of an afternoon in paradise. 28 points, making sure every Indiana sports fan knows her name.
Wow, Chesky with that fake spin. That was so nice.
Walker, 3 not there. Baylor has not scored in over 4 minutes. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. 13-point lead again for Indiana. Bargesser waiting for a screen. Alexis Bargesser kicking. Chesky in the corner. Shea may not give it up. Shea, Chesky, jumper, no good.
Chesky found a good shot off of that and did a nice job as a team, Indiana, wasting the clock off.
Offensive foul, Baylor. The offense non-existent down the stretch.
Baylor really struggled to start this game and to finish this game. They did a nice job stringing together the middle pieces and making it a game, but they've got to do a better job with their chemistry in the beginning of a game and at the end.
Arizona on the drive. Fouled. And Conway just picked up her 3rd, and another drive for Indiana, and sent it right back to the free throw line, where they want to be down the stretch of this game.
Indiana has done such a good job at getting Baylor in foul trouble. They've been gritty, they've been tough, they've rammed it down the middle, penetrating the inside, and now Garzone gets to get some freebies.
By the way, that was the 5th foul on Sarah Andrews. She has fouled out of this game. You know, compared to yesterday, Lexi, Garzone scores the 18 points off to the free throw line here. One more on the way for the junior who just turned 21 yesterday. She's only scored 7 in this game, but you can still feel her impact out on the floor.
Yeah, Garzone does a lot of different things correctly for Indiana. And at the end of the day, Indiana plays team basketball. Oh, and Garzone lost the shoe.
No shoe on the right foot. Still trying to play D. Baylor does score on Fauntleroy. Terry Moore grab that clipboard, making sure everyone's on the same page here. It's a 13-point game with 2:07 to go. There's still time here for Baylor to make it interesting. But early on in the season, Lexi, think about what this Indiana Hoosier team has already been through. They win game 1 of the year. Then they lose at home to Harvard in overtime. They take the short drive to Butler and lose at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Then they got to turn around and play a ranked Stanford team last weekend at Assembly Hall, knock them off. They come here. Their first game in the battle for Atlantis is a Columbia team that a lot of people think is going to win the Ivy League that made the NCAA tournament last year. They knocked them off. Then they're playing a top 20 Baylor team that scored 100 points yesterday. And Indiana's on the verge of a statement win that sends them to the championship tomorrow.
Well, Indiana has really started to find their identity, something that they were working through at the beginning of the season, and they figured out the identity is team basketball. They don't need one player every game scoring 25 points per game. They need everyone chipping in and knowing their role, and they've been doing that lately.
Tight defense on Chesky. Baylor got a steal. That is exactly what they need. Points for the Bears and Jennings.
Baylor with a little life brought back in them. Jennings has played with really good energy today.
Ball kicked out of bounds by Walker.
Between Walker, Jennings, and Felder up on this full court press, those are three really quick guards who are good at intercepting basketballs. So they could get another steal out of this.
Moore McNeil to inbound again. Vargas are in that corner. Got it away to Moore McNeil.
Good patience by Bargesser.
And now you wonder, Lexi, if and when Baylor fouls, they are not fouling right now. Lob inside, tipped and caught. Bargesser on the cut. Shot clock running down. Kick, Chesky free. Baylor's got a shot. Got to come up the floor quick.
Baylor can't waste any time here. Walker's got to get it and go.
Walker now going, throwing it up, and getting fouled. Didn't roll in, but she is going to the line.
Walker did a nice job drawing some contact. That's a really good scenario for Baylor because they need this clock stopped if they want any chance at coming back with only a minute left, down by 11.
How quickly does Baylor have to foul here, Lexi, after the free throws?
I thought Baylor should have fouled on the last play. So if you don't get the steal and that full court press off that very first pass inbounds, then you've got to foul.
Indiana's got 3 timeouts left. Keep in mind that. They run into any problems on the inbound. They got timeouts to burn here. Walker got them both. Here comes the Baylor press. Moore McNeil looking around. Got to get it in. Strickland along the end line. Got it up ahead. Chesky ahead of the pack. Blocked from behind by Walker.
Good effort by Walker and really smart by Baylor to streak during that full court press after the ball was inbounded. All 5 Baylor players were on one side of the half court in that press.
Again, Baylor not fouling in this situation. Garzone dribbling away. Baylor still just playing defense. Garzone, the shot fake and a travel. Baylor gets away with it, Lexi, but about 15 seconds run off the clock.
Wow, and plays where Garzone is unforced turnover calls. When you're up with just 40 seconds left, she's got to have attention to detail on the little things. Get in triple threat. Make sure your foundation is there. You can't give Baylor anything easy, but very surprising that Baylor didn't foul. It looks like they're just okay with taking the L in this game.
.43 seconds left. Indiana on the verge of a statement win. By the way, your college sports have a home on Float College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools and 12 different conferences only on Float College. Head to floatcollege.com today to see everything right now. Coming out of this huddle, Lexi, down by 9, 43 seconds.
Going to want the 3 to close in on this deficit. They've been best inside. They can get to the foul line.
Walker does get inside. Here's that kick outside you were calling for. Felder on the drive. Blocking foul. So Baylor does go back to the line, but again, valuable time coming off the clock.
Good play by Baylor to get it inside. However, yes, way too much time took off the clock. Felder does get to stop it and go to the free throw line, but only after they took off about 10 seconds.
It's the fourth foul on Caroline Striplin. You know, no matter how this game ends, Yaya Felder has been the story of the weekend for the Baylor Bears. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists yesterday, and now 18 today if she makes this free throw.
Felder has done a really good job inserting herself into this Baylor offense and fitting in perfectly.
Free throw missed, but Baylor got it. Another foul down there. Walker's going back to the line. This is starting to get dicey for Indiana.
Ooh, and that ought to be a 6-36 for Indiana to have to run in practice when they get back from Paradise. You can never let the offensive team get the O board on the free throw. When you're the defensive team, you have the numbers.
Walker makes the free throw. You know, Nikki Collin, when she looks back on this game, the unfortunate fact is if her team made some free throws here, they'd be in better shape. They have missed 10 free throws in this game. It's down to a 6-point game, though, with 29 seconds left, and Indiana calls the timeout.
Typically, Baylor has been a lot better of a free throw shooting team throughout the season than they have been today. But today, it's been their attention to detail on not just free throws, but also turnovers and even their rebound battle. They typically are the ones out-rebounding teams, and today, they're the ones being out-rebounded.
In Baylor's huddle, what's their mindset as they try to somehow get Indiana to make more errors here down the stretch?
You would think that Baylor would foul and start playing that foul and free throw game with Indiana. It's only a 6-point game now, but they've wasted about a minute off the clock in just letting Indiana waste time and play keep away. So it'll be interesting to see how Baylor plays this.
66-60 Indiana. Pretty much led the entire way, but Baylor got close multiple times in the second half. Indiana's had the pushback every time. They are on the verge of a statement win early on in the season and punching their ticket to the battle for Atlantis championship tomorrow. But there's still 29 seconds on the clock. It must feel like an eternity to Indiana.
Indiana can do a good job at playing keep away basketball because they've made crisp passes throughout this game, sharing the ball.
Zone, got to get it in. Got it into Bargesser. A quick foul from Felder.
It almost just feels too little too late for Baylor to start fouling with only 27 seconds left. Of course, they can still come back in this game, but I'm so shocked to see that the last 2 possessions down, they played with no fouling. Just let Indiana take so much time off the clock.
This woman at the line, Lexus Bargesser, a huge addition to Indiana this weekend. Big player off the bench for them last year. She's missed some time with injury this year, but back in the rotation this weekend, and you have seen her impact offensively and defensively for the Hoosiers. Split the pair at the line. Baylor got to go. Down by 7. Walker up the floor all the way to the rim. Indiana gives up the 2. And a quick foul for Baylor.
Good job by Walker to focus on making that bunny underneath instead of just hoping for the foul call to be sent to the free throw line. Indiana ended up playing clean that time, so Baylor needed those easy 2 points. Watch how Walker slides in, gets those eyes up on the rim, and even uses the left hand on the right side, knowing the defense was coming from behind.
A tough day for Walker from the field. She's just 3 of 15. In close games like this, certain things stand out. Free throw line stands out today. Baylor 16 of 26 at the line. Indiana's only missed 4 free throws.
Indiana's done a really nice job from the free throw line, over 80%. Their focus has been there, but they're always a good free throw shooting team, 84% on the season.
30-point game for Shea Chesky. 2 huge free throws at the line. Walker drive kick. Baylor's got to shoot threes. They got a corner three with Felder. Another foul. Baylor's extending this game. Yaya Felder has been remarkable to watch all weekend. She can't miss.
Felder, that was so clutch. And great off-the-ball screen by Jennings to get Felder just that inch of space. And Felder nailing it. And then Baylor really quick to foul that time to send Indiana into this free throw shootout game.
Chesky has been ice cold at the line. 3 for 3 on the last couple of trips. 32 points for Shea Chesky. And Baylor will burn that last timeout. Look, Baylor keeps making shots, Lexi. This is an admirable comeback, but the fact of the matter is, if Indiana keeps making free throws, this game is over.
Yeah, it's tough when you're Baylor to play this foul and free throw battle against an Indiana team that's so good from the free throw line, because of course your hope when fouling and sending Indiana to the free throw line is that they miss and that you get the ball and get to run it back down on offense. But so far, every time Indiana has capitalized.
Friendly reminder for you, we still got 3 more games to go today. Our second semifinal coming up about 25-30 minutes after this one ends. North Carolina against Villanova. And later on today, we'll have Southern Miss against Columbia and Ball State against Texas A&M. All those games airing for you right here on Flow College Hoops. Lexi, what's Baylor's attack plan here? I'm assuming you have to shoot a 3 because we're under 10 seconds.
Baylor definitely needs another 3. If they can find Felder again, that's the best idea. Need a lot of off-the-ball screens. I'm talking 2 or 3 for her to get her open.
Vonleh in the corner. Felder from that same corner. She was out of bounds. Out of bounds when she shot it.
I don't know if that's the play that Baylor was looking for, and Felder still did a good job, though, of running and going and getting that ball from Vonleh and using that handoff as a kind of screen.
They actually called a foul on Aaronette Vonleh there. So Indiana and inbound. If they get it in clean, this thing's pretty much done. Chesky will be fouled by Walker. This will just allow Shea to add to one of the games of her life at the line.
Baylor should have done a better job as well at picking a less efficient free throw shooter to send to the line. Every time that Chesky has gotten it at the line, she's capitalized. She's one of the best free throw shooters on this team at 86% on the season.
Had missed 1 all year coming into the weekend. Shea Chesky with a game she'll remember for a long, long time. 34 points. Indiana comes to paradise and gets a statement win. They knock off the Baylor Bears, and the Indiana Hoosiers will play championship tomorrow.
Wow, Indiana showed such team basketball, such toughness as well in this win. Baylor is a team that has averaged over 13 rebounds per game more than their opponents. Game in and game out, they've out